I'm gonna tell a quick story, and I promise I'll try to be as fast as possible. This whole Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing, as soon as it happened, I said, this is assault, and Will Smith should have been arrested. He should have been kicked out and arrested. He put his hands on someone when it wasn't in self-defense. It was not in self-defense. It was not to protect anyone who was in danger. He physically assaulted somebody. The worst part is he did it in front of a whole bunch of people who did nothing, who applauded him like he did something good. So actually, I think the reason why I felt so strongly about it is because in some ways I feel guilty, because I've actually been in pretty much the exact same situation. And I was a bystander as well, and I also did nothing, and I'm really ashamed to admit that. And that's why I feel like it's so important that we use what happened here and we set a hard precedent. Like, in a civilized society, how are we supposed to behave? Are we animals? Do we condone? Because if we're animals, then it's just who's physically strongest, who can dominate someone else physically. That if we're allowing this kind of behavior, we should all just be fighting one another all the time. And then what happens to society? It just crumbles. What we have, everything we've worked for, comes from our ability to set aside our animalistic urges and cooperate together and work together. That's why we advocate so hard for minority rights, for human rights, for an end to violence, an end to war, for peace, for tolerance, for acceptance, because without those things, we're always reduced to simply this. Who's the biggest and strongest and gets away with the most shit? So, quick story time. About 2 years ago, I was at a bar with a friend. It was very crowded. I know, pandemic season, but they lifted regulations, so everyone thought it was okay. And we were out, and at that time, you can see on my old videos, I had bleach blonde hair, and it was pretty long, so it got a lot of attention. And people would stop me in the street and say like, hey man, I like your hair or whatever. So me and my friend, we go to this bar, and there's this white guy there that he knows, and I guess they play Dungeons and Dragons together. And this guy was like, he was, I want to say mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s. He looked kind of rough. He was not attractive. But my friend tells me that he was like a pickup artist who like would coach guys on how to, like white guys, on how to pick up Korean girls. I mean, I find the whole pickup artist thing very toxic, and then the whole racial element here, because this is South Korea, and then that it just seems very perverse to me. And this guy, like, and I don't know, I guess my friend was white as well, so I guess he knew this guy, and he was like, oh, when we first met him, he was like, oh, he's a good guy, whatever. So I introduced myself, and immediately this guy, he was obviously drunk. I could smell him. He stank. He puts his hands out. He's like, oh, and he tries to touch my head and touch my hair. So I just block his hands, and I go, nope, don't touch my hair. And he goes, oh, 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 and he tries again, and I'm like, nope, just don't touch my hair. And then he laughs it off, and everyone's talking or whatever, and like maybe 10 minutes later he comes back and he tries to touch my hair again, and I just block him again, and I say, look, I already said don't touch my hair, just don't do it. And he goes, oh, that's kind of awkward, isn't it? And I said, no, There's nothing awkward about it. Just don't touch my hair. So already I felt like this guy was weird, kind of manipulative or something. And the way he treated me, who he just met, like that, it was obvious he didn't respect people. So we're hanging out. These people go somewhere else, and me and my friend, we go out to the smoking area. We're just, drinking, smoking, talking with some people. We get in a conversation with like a couple white guys, and there was this guy who was a drummer. Me and him were talking about music. There were some girls around, and we were just talking, and like the pickup artist is like standing somewhere close by, and I didn't even really register them, but he was talking to some white guy. I can barely remember what that guy looked like, but suddenly I heard a very loud slap, like louder than that. It was insanely loud, like that, like super loud, and everyone like kind of jumped and stared, and this pickup artist guy had just smacked the shit out of the white guy he was talking to. And I actually just instinctively, I took a step back. I was like, whoa. Because like instinctively, I thought a fight was about to break out and I didn't want to get hit. It was like a split-second reaction. I was just like, oh. Because if someone slapped me like that, like I would probably just instinctively just start punching them. And even my friend was like, oh, and everyone around us was like, just froze and staring at them. And I can barely remember what that guy looked like, the guy who got slapped, but I still remember clearly this expression of utter humiliation and shame. And then the pickup artist was holding his face and like saying something to him and kind of laughing. It all felt very condescending and humiliating. And we were just kind of like, whoa, like what the fuck just happened? And I get the impression that that's kind of what happened at the Oscars too. Everyone was just like, what the fuck? And none of us knew what to do. And then they walked away. The slapper and the slappee just walked away somewhere to talk. And I really regret, one, not saying anything, just speaking out. Just like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you slap someone? And then two, I wish I had called the cops. I know some people are like, oh, online about it. They're like, oh, it's just a slap. Chris Rock shouldn't have said that. Blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't care what Chris Rock said. He could have been saying some depraved, horrible shit. There was no clear and present danger. Words are words. Unless he's saying something that is indicative of clear and present danger, like something like, I have a bomb and I'm about to blow us all up. Oh, or I have a gun, I'm going to shoot your wife in the face. Something like that. But an insult, I don't care what. He could have said so much. And everyone knows it was like barely, it was like the stupidest, lightest kind of insult. Yeah, it was a joking insult, but it certainly did not merit physical violence. And everyone's like, it was just a slap. Look, even one punch can kill someone. People don't realize that. Even a punch can kill someone. It's happened many times. One punch, a single punch can kill someone. A slap can be devastating too. Like, look at how he slapped Chris Rock. He could have caused internal bruising in the cheek, caused like teeth to break. Who knows? He could have even knocked him out and gave him a concussion. And not just that, it's just an insanely humiliating thing to do. Now, Will Smith has been famous since before I was born. I grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith in movies, Men in Black, all that shit. I even listened to his fucking music. His shitty rap music. I listened to it. Like, I would bop to Will Smith songs. Like, I would consider myself a fan of his work. that does not mean I'm going to excuse his behavior and say, like, because I like his work, that it's okay how he acts. So it's crazy to me how many people are condoning it. How many people are saying it's okay? That's why there needs to be a harder stance against it. Because like I said, what are we if we don't have rules and regulations in society? So I saw that Jim Carrey has come out and said Chris Rock should sue. A bunch of people are weighing in this or that. And I saw Jada Pinkett Smith uploaded some weird shit on Instagram like, oh, it's a time for healing. I'm all for it. That's fucking weird. Like, and she laughed when Chris Rock got slapped. Like, something really fucking weird is going on there. I know there's other stuff about them. I know all that. I don't really care about all that. That's like their business. But if my partner assaulted someone, I would probably not be with my partner anymore. And then, two, I would condemn that act. I would be like, look, what they did was wrong. I apologize too if I ever gave the impression that that was okay. So there's, people are saying he should sue, whatever. Yeah, I think Chris Rock should sue. I think he should sue because it was spread around the world, like Jim Carrey said. It's a ubiquitous, humiliating incident. And then for physical damages as well as emotional damages. But not just that. We, the bystanders, need to take more action. I truly regret not intervening when I saw that guy get slapped at the bar. And I would hope that many people at the Oscars who were too shocked or afraid of Will Smith's money and influence to do anything, I would hope that they feel the way I do about that incident. That they speak out and condemn his actions and set a precedent that this kind of behavior will not be allowed. Because so many people in society think that money and fame equate to dominance and power. That's why we got Weinstein. That's why we got Epstein. That's why we got Trump. That's why we got all these people who are abusing power. And that's what it was. He saw a short man of color, a black man, and yes, I know Will Smith is a black man, but he saw a short black man getting uppity with him. So he felt like he had to put him in his place, and everybody allowed it because it's Will Smith. Will Smith is just a human. All these fucking celebrities, politicians, they're just people. And they are under the law as much as you or me. And they need to be held as accountable as we are. Money, fame should not be barriers to consequence. So, I'm going to keep this at less than 14 minutes. I hope this has resonated somewhat with whoever watches this. Thank you for listening. Peace out.